In 1879, Anna Haining Bates went into labor while standing, nearing a height of 8 feet. Unsurprisingly, her infant was also of an extraordinary size. Upon her water breaking, she released 6 gallons of amniotic fluid. It was at this point that the attending physician had a startling realization. Some figures in history are larger than life, and in Anna Haining Bates's case, she was also literally immense. Indeed, she stood as one of the tallest individuals to have ever lived. The year is 1846 in Nova Scotia. Anne Graham and Alexander Swan, Scottish immigrants, had just welcomed their 3rd offspring, a baby girl. However, this was no ordinary infant. Certain accounts suggest the newborn weighed a staggering 13 pounds. By the age of 4, she exceeded 4 feet in height and weighed over 90 pounds. Upon reaching 15 years old, she had grown to 7 feet tall and was still growing. While never formally diagnosed during her lifetime, it was later determined that Anna was born with gigantism. This condition arises from a tumor on the pituitary gland, which consequently releases excessive growth hormone. Individuals with gigantism experience exceptionally rapid growth and typically have a significantly reduced lifespan. Despite the challenging circumstances Anna was born into, fate had an adventurous life planned for her. Anna's family showed great empathy for her unusual condition. When she outgrew her school desk in elementary school, her father personally constructed a larger one to suit her needs. He also crafted an oversized bed to ensure her comfort, just like her 12 siblings. Regrettably, he couldn't shield her from external attention. As word spread about the Giantess child, people in Nova Scotia began visiting her family farm, hoping to catch a glimpse. Local newspapers started publishing articles, further amplifying the public interest. One publication even dubbed her an infant giantess. Consequently, from a young age, Anna became an object of curiosity, and her family recognized a financial opportunity. Despite accusations of exploitation, most historians believe that her family genuinely cared for her and ensured her safety at all times. Anna's youth wasn't solely defined by touring. She often cared for her younger siblings and sought to occupy herself with reading and pursuing artistic interests. Thus, while her experiences were unconventional, she strived to have as normal a childhood as possible. She also nurtured a very conventional aspiration, though sadly it was destined to be unfulfilled. Anna genuinely wished to become a teacher. However, while residing with her aunt and attending school, she faced new challenges. She found classrooms physically confining because of her stature, and understandably, people often stared at her, making her feel deeply self-conscious. This experience extinguished her aspirations of teaching. Fortunately, greater opportunities awaited her. In 1862, she moved to America and accepted a position at the P.T. Barnum Museum as the Nova Scotia Giantess. There she received education and learned to sing and play the piano. The museum provided her with incredible opportunities, many unprecedented for the era. She earned $23 a week in gold, equivalent to approximately $500 today. She was also assigned a chaperone and given the chance to earn extra money from the sale of her photographs. Remarkably, for the time, her contract allowed her to retain the rights to these images. During her time at the museum, Anna portrayed characters like Lady Macbeth and engaged with audiences in question and answer sessions to detail her experiences as one of the tallest women known. This experience was largely positive for her, as she gained control over her own narrative, rather than simply being a spectacle. It's 1865 and Barnum's museum is engulfed in flames in one of the most dramatic fires New York City had ever witnessed, and Anna is trapped inside. The stairwell was ablaze and Anna, weighing nearly 400 pounds, was too large to exit through a window. Somehow, with the assistance of 18 individuals who carried her, she heroically escaped. She had helped others evacuate before her, nearly jeopardizing her own life in the process. By most accounts, Anna was intelligent and kind. As she encountered people on tours who also had physical differences, she formed close friendships and deep bonds with them. In fact, her captivating personality enabled her to become friends with one of the most prominent royals of the time. Anna became accustomed to traveling the world. She toured extensively throughout Europe and the United States. In 1863, while touring Europe as a performer, she even befriended Queen Victoria, and the two formed an unlikely friendship. Anna attracted considerable attention from suitors. It's said that she received numerous marriage proposals. However, due to her career as a performer, she chose to decline these offers. She found it difficult to discern whether someone was sincere or simply interested in her wealth. But then she encountered a man who made her believe in true love. No, not him. The other big guy, yes. While at a circus in Halifax, Anna couldn't help but notice Martin Van Buren Bates, a man also nearing 8 feet in height. Naturally, Martin noticed Anna as well, and so did a promoter, which led to intriguing developments in both her professional life and romantic life. Anna married Martin in 1871 in London after they fell deeply in love and began touring together in the circus. In 1861, after Queen Victoria lost her husband, Prince Albert, she entered a prolonged period of mourning and remained grief-stricken for the rest of her life. However, her personal sorrow didn't diminish her appreciation for other people's love stories. In 1871, when news spread that Anna had found love, the Queen decided to do something special for her. She gifted her a bridal gown crafted from 100 meters of satin and 50 meters of lace, adorned with embroidered orange blossoms. Rumors suggest that Queen Victoria arranged for the Bates' wedding to take place at the Church of St. Martin in the Fields. Anna Bates returned to Buckingham Palace upon an invitation from the Queen to visit and received a diamond ring. The bridegroom also received a gold watch. Together, the couple later met with the Queen at least twice more. A year after marrying, Anna and her husband purchased a farm in Ohio and constructed a house designed to accommodate their immense statures. The primary section of the house had unique specifications, such as high ceilings and widened doorways, with all the furniture custom-built. However, the couple intentionally made the rear portion of their home of average dimensions to accommodate servants and guests. Anna was an animal enthusiast and disapproved of horse racing. On her farm, she made it a point to take in animals retired from the circus. In 1872, still newlyweds, Anna and her husband conceived their first child, but it ended in tragedy. On May 19th, a baby girl weighing 18 pounds died at birth. 6 years later, Anna became pregnant with a son. On January 18, 1879, her water broke, and she reportedly lost 6 gallons of fluid. She faced an exceptionally difficult labor as hours passed. Then the doctor had a concerning realization. Anna's baby was so large that he couldn't fit his forceps around its head to assist in the delivery. They placed a bandage around its neck and pulled. He was a staggering 23 pounds, and Martin later wrote that, tragically, this was another doomed birth. After just 11 hours of life, her baby boy passed away. Posthumously, he received a Guinness World Record for being the largest newborn ever recorded. The loss of her second child profoundly impacted Anna. She fell into a deep depression and lost her desire to tour. She withdrew from social life to cope with her grief. Although she later attempted to tour with the circus again, she ultimately had to withdraw. Anna and her husband decided to pursue a quieter existence in the late 1870s. By the spring of 1880, Anna dedicated her time solely to the farm, and she and Martin became more actively involved with the Baptist Church. In 1888, after battling tuberculosis and thyroid problems, Anna died from heart failure in her sleep, just one day before her 42nd birthday. Following her death, Martin erected a monument on her grave to honor her. A year later, he remarried and relocated from their Ohio home so that his average-sized second wife would feel more comfortable. However, when Martin died in 1919, he was buried beside Anna and their baby boy. To this day, Seville, Ohio continues to remember Anna and her husband. An exhibit dedicated to the couple exists, featuring artifacts and information about their life together. In Halifax, there is also a museum specifically dedicated to the Giantess, and some of her descendants are still involved in curating and guiding tours for visitors. Throughout her life, Anna was often presented and promoted as being over 8 feet tall. In reality, she ceased growing before quite reaching that height, but she certainly came close at 7 feet 11 inches. To further sensationalize the attraction, exaggerations of her height often became necessary and persisted in newspapers despite the inaccuracy. Records from the British Library show posters from the time Anna was touring, where she was advertised as the largest woman in the world and received top billing over Chang and Eng, the original Siamese twins, who were major stars in London at the time. Anna's placement above them as the headliner continues to serve as a reminder that she drew crowds as large as she lived. Thanks for watching. If you love uncovering the best stories in history, hit like and subscribe to continue exploring with us.